Well, it's Christmas Eve, that special time of the year where there's one person that's delivering presents to all of these people roughly in a 24-hour time span. I figured it'd be a nice idea to, crunch the numbers on the back of a napkin to see exactly how long it would take for someone to do that. Well, USPS, United States Postal Service, delivers 146 billion packages per year. And, oh, by the way, I'm looking these up on this wonderful screen here. It shows that gifts delivered from Santa, 3.6 billion so far. Interesting. So, how many of these can we get? We got FedEx at 8.95 million packages a day. So just between all of them on an average day is 500 million packages. And if this is saying 3.6 billion packages to, well, there's 2.18 billion Christians, 908 million households if you divide that in the average of 2.4 people per household. No, that's 2.4 kids per household. Interesting. So it's actually only about 500 million. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What does matter is if this thing says 3.6 billion gifts delivered, we can assume maybe that every Christian gets 2 gifts, so 4.2 billion gifts. If that's the case, now you got to figure out how many people work for every single company. So you have 425,000 that work for FedEx, 750,000 that work for Amazon, 100,000 for XPO Logistics, 497,000 for USPS, 481,000 for UPS, and this is just for the United States only. 2.253 million people working, and that's 8-hour days. So that is about 18 million hours of work. But then you just divide that by 8 to get to the one person that's working. So that's 2,253,000 days of work. If he does that every single day, that's 6,172 years of just delivering. And that's instantaneous delivering, but that's fine. We'll just leave it at that. And let's just say the sleigh goes at the same speed as a plane, 550 miles an hour. But the average distance from anywhere in the North Pole is probably about a little bit above the equator. Let's just say Cancun distance. That's 5,704 miles from the North Pole. And the average UPS truck does about 200 stops and has 250 packages that it can fit in there. That's pretty big. I don't think a sleigh could fit 250 packages, but let's just say for the math that it can. If you have 4.2 billion packages and you can only fit 250 in a sleigh, that's 17,440,000 refills that you have to do. And if it takes you 5,704 miles on average to get to the place you were just at, that's 10 hours each way by sleigh. So that's 20 hours just to refill every single time. So let's just say there's no stops. You just refill, you come back, all the elves have it ready to go. That means you divide that by how many days? 17,440,000 days until, that's just the delivery itself. So just that, if he does it every single day, constantly, no breaks, 47,780 years, and then the delivery time is 6,172 years. So that's about 54,000 years for good old Santa to deliver those presents. So now, of course, he can stop time. So if he does stop time, the unfortunate part is he still has to deliver presents for the next 54,000 years while we're all in pause. So hey, Merry Christmas. I've been notified by my friends' kids that my math for the speed of Santa's sleigh was incorrect. Apparently, it's been shown at 11,340 kilometers an hour. So since I'm doing all this in miles per hour, That's 7,087 miles an hour. That would be a lot of wind burn on Santa's face, but let's just say he's protected. Now that reduces a lot of the time here. Instead of 20 hours round trip to refill his sleigh, it's only 1.6 hours. I was also notified by their kids that he has an unlimited amount of presents in the sleigh, so he doesn't need to go for return trips. But let's just say for the sake that he can only fit 250 packages per trip, and then he has to pop in and it takes 0.8 hours to go there, 0.8 hours to come back. Let's just stick with that math. That's still 16.8 million refills. At 1.6 hours, that's 26,880,000 hours. And let's give him 16-hour flying days too. That's a lot, that's a rough time, but 16-hour flying days, that's 1.68 million days of flying. That's 4,602 years. But I also severely miscalculated the amount of hours for logistics employees, because technically the easiest way to calculate this is how many logistics employees work all around the world, and that's exactly how many days Santa needs to work. In the United States alone, I found out that there is about 6 million employees, or 6 million people employed. That's 1.8% of the United States population. So let's just take that number and let's just apply it to the amount of Christians that are alive. That's 2.18 billion Christians. So 1.8% of them is about 40 million people, just Christians alone, that are in logistics, because I would imagine that's how many people would need to deliver the presents. 40 million people means 40 million days of work, which means for one person, it would take 108,000 years if they did it 365 days a year, plus another 4,602 years of delivery. So even if you took away the delivery, 108,000 years is how long Santa has to pause time so you can get yourself those Christmas socks that you always wanted. Merry Christmas.